Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Books and Coffee. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you've been in the best of health and iman. This episode is going to be a book review episode, a long overdue book review episode. Because yes, I've read this book like a long time ago. It's very close to my heart, and it's basically all about memorizing the Qur'an. And it's not just write-ups and lecturing. It's about mindset, shifting your mindset, building habits, healthy habits. The book I would be reviewing today is called Hifz-piration by Umar Gana, and it's such an amazing book. It's a book that left me speechless, to say the least. I was just like, subhanallah, each time I turned pages in the book. And I feel that is just part of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's barakah in something. When Allah blesses something you do. And I'm like, how did he do it? How did Umar do it? Allahumma barik. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to protect the author and bless every single person behind this book. We've had Umar before on the podcast. If you have not listened to that episode, when you're done listening to this episode, quickly click our episode and listen to it. So Umar Gana is an Islamic content creator that shares reminders and Islamic reminders online through his various platforms on Instagram and Substack. And Hifz-piration is Umar's first book, and I will also read about the book for you. This book goes beyond helping you memorize the Qur'an. Qur'an memorization is only the beginning of something much deeper and more profound, an eternal relationship with the Qur'an. I once believed I could never memorize the Qur'an. I thought it was too late for me, or maybe it wasn't for me. However, my journey has shown me that anyone can memorize the Qur'an. Everyone's journey to the Qur'an is as beautiful as it is unique. In this book, I share everything I have learned from my experience to not only help you get started, but also make sure you understand the true essence of Qur'an memorization and never stop. The findings in these books come from personal reflection, surveys, conversations with scholars, and research spanning across traditional methods of Qur'an memorization, behavioral psychology, and habit building to provide proven insights that will work for anyone. Now is your time to get started. If not now, then when? Having read that, so Hifz-piration is divided into two parts. The first part talks about the decision, your niyyah, your intention, your sincerity in memorizing the Qur'an, the mindset and everything. And the second part basically talks about starting and sustaining, actually getting started with the process and how you can sustain it afterwards or while you're in the process. And the funny thing is, this book came to me in a point of my life when I was giving up on memorization. I was like, you know what? I don't think I can memorize the Quran anymore. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala literally said, you know what? You're going to read Umar's book and you are going to get back on track with your memorization. And as I was reading the book, I was thinking, is Umar looking at me? Because how are you able to answer all the questions that I've been asking? It was just so amazing. And sometimes I'll just have to close the book and pause. Honestly, it was an amazing read. I really love how simplified the book was. It was not just talking and teaching and lecturing. It also had beautiful and amazing, interesting stories. My favorite one was the one about the frog. And there was something very profound in the book that was mentioned by Tartil AI. And it says, it's not about how far you have reached in the Quran. It's about how far the Quran has reached in you. And I feel that is such a deep statement here. Because most of us, we think, oh, it's how much I have memorized. But then, yes, we could have memorized the entire Quran. But are we actually implementing the teachings in our lives? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah As-Saff, verse 2-3, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. O you who have believed, why do you say what you do not do? كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Greatly hateful in the sight of Allah is that you say what you do not do. So basically what this made me think about was, even if you've not memorized the entire Quran, of course you might have certain portions from the Quran that you've had memorized, but are you actually implementing it in your life? Are you living by its teachings, or are you just carrying its teachings and spreading it without implementing it? Hifz-piration also covers review cycles, like how you can review your memorization, how you can allow it to stay in your memory more, things like practical tips. And my favorite part was the workbook part. I really loved that part because you were able to actually put down your goals and all those things, after reading. There are actually spaces for you to actually say, okay, now that I've read about intention, what is my intention for memorizing the Quran? Pen it down. Now that I've read how I should retain my memorization, how do I plan on retaining my memorization? Pen it down. Now that I have read about muraja'ah, what is my muraja'ah plan? Pen it down. So I really liked that about Hifz-piration, and I have a lot of quotes and passages from the book that resonated with me, and I would be sharing a couple of them. So the first one is basically about clean your bucket. This story is actually a very interesting story, clean your bucket, and it's on page 39. At the end of the story, something very important was drawn. The grandfather that was in the story, he said the following words: you have a long life ahead of you, and perhaps you will memorize some Qur'an, and perhaps you may not. But even if your heart does not carry much Qur'an, reading it constantly will always cleanse it, like how the water cleansed this bucket. And that just goes back to show us that it is not how much we carry, how many Quran we know, even though we should aim to know more, but how well we'll carry it. The little you have, are you actually implementing it, as I mentioned earlier? Another one says, for what is the Quran in speech and memory, but not in heart and actions? And that's very profound. There's page 32. There's this powerful quote that is there. It says, we are naturally wired to act and behave in ways to avoid discomfort. The more discomfort is apparent in a task, the more our natural triggers will try to make us run away from it. And then the last but final one that I would be sharing is the one that says that one reason why memorization of the Quran is transformational is that it cleanses one's heart. Whether you're a student, whether you're a busy person, you're a professional, whether you're a parent, whether you're a new Hufaz, this book is the best book for these people, and it's very beginner friendly. Each time I was flipping through the pages of this book, all I could just say was subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. It's a very amazing book, and I highly recommend it. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us all people of the Quran. That would be the end of this episode. I hope you learned a thing or two. Don't forget to grab your copy of Hifz-piration. You can find them on Instagram at Hifz-piration or on Umar's page at Umar G. I would love for you all to share your thoughts and your experiences with Quran memorization. Let me know, share your thoughts in the comments, or you can send us a DM on Instagram at Books and Coffee Podcast. And as always, Assalamu alaikum.